Thank you to our sponsors, Joey Stadium at Copperleaf Properties, 256-494-7544. Joey knows real estate. Jamie Grant and Little Burton's, 256-281-9085. Away at old-timey convenient service stations should be Little Burton's. Trent Thrasher Construction, 256-413-0612. If you are looking for a job, call that number, Trent Thrasher Construction. The Etowah County Tip Line, 256-543-2893. Hey, go get the app, the Etowah County Tip Line app. Also, 256-543-2893. Etowah Used Cars. Thank you, Dwayne Ball and all the family there. 256-538-8222. Etowah Used Cars. Pierce & Pierce, Attorneys at Law. 256-419-0245. They will help you in your time of need. Pierce & Pierce, Attorneys at Law.
Hey guys, I'm your man Jeff Underwood. Let's try this again. Part 2.
Yes.
So welcome to Kapow. J.W. White. What are you doing, buddy?
Well, you know, we're not supposed to record our executive sessions anyway, right? It kind of got mixed up. But we're back, and Jamie Grant, welcome.
You got out of hand, didn't it?
Good to have you, Jamie.
Love Jamie Grant. And, of course, no introduction, our third member of the Kapow team,
right.
Mayor Joe Taylor. Welcome.
Hey, good to be here.
Woo.
Excited about being here. New place.
Man, it is.
Never gotten set on the sofa.
We're coming along.
Yeah.
You know, we got some progress to make, but we're making slow progress.
I was afraid the sofa was going to be too low. It was going to make me grunt when I got up or moved. But I'm okay and pretty comfortable.
See?
It's for short legs. Jamie's going to struggle.
He will. It'll be all in his.
You know, Jamie's going to lay across the sofa.
Oh, yeah,
He's going to interview just like that. I can
That's
see
like George
that.
Costanza pose is what Jamie's going to be doing.
That's awesome.
We'll bring in a bearskin rug or
That's
something
right.
put across the couch. Sorry we're having technical difficulties, guys, and just bear with us. The mayor of Rainbow City is going to work on this and expedite this for us. He's going to get on the
Executive
phone.
order?
Yeah, he's going to
right.
write some kind of order. So what's going on in Rainbow City? There's a lot of stuff going on. It's
Rainbow
crazy.
City's great. It's we're just moving ahead. Going in summertime, you know, we right now big planning going on for our drone show. It's
Love
coming
it.
up June 30th at 5:30.
Got the Freedom Flight.
Freedom Flight. Yeah,
That's
we
cool.
kind of thought about that, and you know, this is our opportunity to kind of usher in that 4th of July celebration. We wanted to make sure that we weren't competing with the Patriots Association that does the fireworks display up in Gadsden, and so we thought, well, let's just go into the weekend, and so it allowed for us to put together a drone show with a company out of Virginia, Pixis, and we're excited. It's something different from around here.
What does that look like? What? I mean, I've seen these drone competitions.
Yeah, it's really just a graphic display of they'll take about 150 drones that have LED lighting. They put them all together. They're all synchronized, and they have a pilot, and then they have a couple of like assistant pilots or co-pilots, and they fly these things in formation. And we'll have it synced with some music that'll be playing. And, you know, some of it patriotic, and some of it's just hometown things, you know, just, you know, we're going to throw some logos from our schools.
That's awesome.
And that kind of thing up. And it's going to be fun.
A silhouette of Mayor Joe Taylor.
That would be,
Via
that's
drone.
got to be the best.
Yeah, we got
That's
to
the
make
finale.
that. We got to make that happen.
How could we put that together?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's
Then-
cutting edge.
Then right over it, it says Kapow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That could be a little one of those little bubbles coming out of his mouth, out of Joe's mouth.
Yes. Kapow,
Mayor
yeah.
Joe loves Kapow.
and I bet it's going to be a huge draw because you're not competing with anybody else. So it
Oh, that's
frees
right,
people up
and
to come.
also it's the type of show that like special needs children can come to that are you know have noise sensitivity.
Sure.
And you know we really wanted to make it truly all inclusive because you know we do have some some citizens here, and of course they're everywhere. We want everything that we do to be welcoming, and this was an opportunity for us to do something that's not going to scare pets.
Yeah.
That's because we do have a group of citizens that worry about what happens to their dog when fireworks are going off. So it's just
No, it makes sense.
just a different thing. It's just something that's a little nerdy, which is cool, because we just have a time right now where we can do something different and see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll shelve it and try it later.
Yeah.
It's going to work.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
work.
work.
Where is it going to be exactly?
It's going to be at Vivian Maddox Park.
Okay.
We feel like we could get about 5,000 people in there, and the show will take off out of one of the parking lots that we'll have kind of cordoned off, and it'll fly out over a wood line. All of it's FAA approved, and the permitting and all's already been done and approved, and it'll fly the show, and then it'll come back over and land. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm
It's
excited
very
about
cool.
that. I'm really
So how long is it going to take? How long is the show going to be?
The show's about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's battery life. That's
that
basically
makes
what
sense.
you're looking at.
Yeah.
And so we've got it timed at about it's in the high 14s right now.
Okay.
So it's almost put together. The creative artist that put the show together just had, there was a tragic accident last week. She lost her life. And
no.
so we're gonna. Jeff Prince last night at our meeting decided and kind of helped us to decide and led us in the direction of maybe dedicating the show to her.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a really cool person that she's spent her life serving kids by using horses as therapy.
Oh, wow.
And so she just had left a sabbatical and been out in Colorado and was driving back to her home in Virginia and got killed in a car wreck.
Wow.
It was very tragic.
You talk about a high integrity anointed man. Jeff is
a great guy.
Man,
He's
what
our,
a
he's our
top-notch.
mayor pro tem,
yeah.
and I can call on Jeff for anything. As a matter of fact, we're kind of in the midst of some things right now where I asked Jeff Prince and Jeff Boyd to represent Rainbow City on the Challenger Task Force for the Challenger Education School mission, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
And it's STEM learning.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually last night as a group decided to kind of throw our name in the hat. We had met with the Challenger people previous and said that we'd like to have that center. And so we put a proposal out. We'll have some details we'll have to bring back together
Sure.
and do a public meeting, because we are talking about taking some of our resources and putting it towards that. But it's educationally based, and every one of our guys, and it was said last night at our council, we all decided that we were going to run, and if it had anything to do with children, we were going to find a way to help out.
That's awesome.
And this is just another thing that we can do, and we do know that we can do it well, and we believe that we're the number one. We should be in the number one spot.
Heck yeah.
We're close. If you do a concentric circle over Rainbow City, we catch the northern part of Jefferson County. That is critical to a STEM learning center. It's critical to the Challenger Center, and so we know that we're in the game. There's no doubt about it. We hope that they'll make a decision, hopefully today. I look for that today and maybe tomorrow, something like that.
That's so good. Oh, I love driving around when we go down to the creek down here, and I call it the creek. That's what cool people call it. And you pass Vivian Maddox, and Little League tournaments are going on.
Man.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And every field it's like Tent City.
Yep.
And then there's soccer games going on at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's got to be 5,000 people out there
That's
at this
right.
point. So there's no way that's not going to happen over there. But the amount of people coming into Rainbow City just to play Little League.
Yes.
Little League in the area has gone away seemingly, and Rainbow City said we're going to bring it back. I love that.
Yeah, it's one of the things. Philip Hollingsworth's our Parks and Recreation director, and Philip and I got together early on. Actually, even before I was elected, I just went to see, what do you do? And of course, Philip at that time was working for a different mayor, and he was a little jumpy. He's very, very. He's like a spark plug. He's always kind of going off. And but Philip said then, you know, one thing that he would really love to see if I were elected was that we protect rec league ball.
Yeah.
You know, the school ball, and you know that's what we all grew up in.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't travel ball. I don't knock travel ball.
Right.
We have a lot of participation on weekends for travel tournaments and those kind of things, and you know we're getting big into soccer now. But you know, like you say, you go by Vivian on the weekend, you're going to see 5,000 people.
It's crazy.
And that's about our number. But we also have that walking trail that's incredible. You know, it's several miles of walking trail that we're about to expand to close to 7 miles. And then on top of that, we've got disc golf.
Yep.
You know, something that not anybody in this area has. And of course, you know, we know that we've got to continue to expand. We've got room for expansion down there. We have another 100 or so acres that we'd really like to have a little mountain bike trail, a little off-road trail.
That's cool.
And that's something that Philip's pretty strong on right now, and it's kind of chasing some grants and finding us a way to be able to do that too.
I love it. I think it's incredible the way Rainbow City just is about families, and I mean you're about everybody, individuals, but it's a family city.
It really is. I mean, you know, one of the things that we have to continue to tell ourselves is that if we take care of our families, we know that business is coming.
That's right.
We know that industry will migrate to us, but they have to feel welcome and feel safe. So, you know, that's why our police and fire departments are so incredibly important. You know, we spoke about our library last night. Tina Brooks down in our library, she's just ridiculously good at her job. You know, she's to the point that we have grant opportunities that will call us to make sure that Tina's putting in for that money, because you know we're locked in. She's done really good work. She's kept up with technology. You know, we stream for anybody that we have a streaming service that if you have a library card, you can stream movies at home and on your devices. And so it allows for kids that may be a little underprivileged, you know, that they can still be up to date and get to watch movies and be able to speak with their friends about, hey, I saw this, did you see that? You know, and it starts eliminating that alienation based on economics.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I wanted, you know, having, you know, I grew up in a very, very underprivileged, we were just poor. I mean, just filthy poor. And, you know, we didn't get to talk about the other things. We didn't have the cool shoes and, you know, all the things that mattered at that time. And we don't want our kids to feel less than. And the way to do that is we have to make sure that we have programs in place, and our library serves that purpose. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah. There's always something going on there.
Yeah.
Right.
There
You see the cars there. Hey, what's going on? You try to read the sign as you go by. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
And,
like the science lady comes.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
And then they have the animal guy that comes and brings snakes
Yeah.
and the reptiles and all that
I
stuff.
always
stay away.
I speed
That's
fast, very fast.
He turns down Williamson. He
Yeah,
goes the
I am
long
not
way
sure.
around.
Go long. Go by the pickleball.
That's right. Go by the popcorn.
Speaking of back to Vivian Lee, huge soccer event coming up. I know it's
Huge.
not at Vivian Lee, but
We'll overflow probably to Vivian Lee, but
Okay.
yeah, out at the Rainbow City Sports Complex, the soccer complex. I think they're calling it the Soccerplex or something like that. We're having 26 teams, I think it is, and these are adults down to kids. You know, there's some of these adult teams. It's several different associations that are coming out there, which is kind of never happened before, where you've got a complex big enough to service that many people at one time.
Yeah.
So we look for about 5,000-6,000 people this weekend out at the out on Lindsay. It's Lindsay and Kinsey. So if you go from 77, you jump on Lindsay. If you come from Lumley, you get on Kinsey, and you go halfway either way, and
Right there.
you're right there at
That's
it.
awesome.
just go
Can't miss it.
slow. There's deer and turkey out there.
Deer and turkey, yeah.
Deer and turkey.
Yeah, you may see a runner or two. There's no doubt you're going to see some people on bicycles.
100%. Every time I've ever been there, enjoying Craig Ford Road. It's
Yes.
pretty nice.
Yes, thank you.
Well,
Can't help myself.
can't.
I just can't.
you always got to take the
I
days.
got
Yeah,
to,
you
man.
just
I got
got
to. Can't help
And we just put the final wear surface on that road. Speaking of that, and you know, so the place is just really shaping up. You know, a sports complex has to mature. You know, the grass has to kind of mature, and everything has to kind of come into its own, and that's beginning to happen right now. So the place is just absolutely gorgeous.
So we went out a few weeks ago and looked at it, and
Yeah.
it's looking really good.
Yeah.
So y'all are doing great.
We brought Stacy Jones.
Yeah.
Stacy just got hired, and we brought him in out there.
I'm so glad you said it because we were sworn to secrecy, so I wasn't sure when we could say it.
Yeah.
Well, matter of fact, my phone, I just ignored a call from somebody.
Mark O'Brien.
Okay.
He called me too.
I ignored
I
it.
ignored
It
it.
means he's not watching the show.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
But what a great hire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
What a
guy.
Great
You know,
guy.
just excited about that. So we're hoping that's going to work out.
Coach Dungle.
Man, Stacy is.
So every time he comes to work, do y'all play Highway to the Danger Zone as he coming in?
You just about have to.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that was his walk-in song when he was coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Was Danger Zone. So I don't know
Danger
if that was part of his contract. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him on the sports show. God, it's been 10, 12 years. And Stacy telling some of the minor league stories, incredible,
Yeah.
man. Just
That was
incredible.
a good show.
Well, we just have an unbelievable recreation opportunity in Rainbow City. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a little bit of everything. We're right now kind of looking with the Board of Education about doing some refurbishment out where we have a track that we share with the Etowah County Board of Education, and having some conversations with Dr. Cosby about us doing some upgrade out there, possibly some, maybe even doing some artificial turf, some things that allow for
Yeah.
some year-round usage, and that's the problem that we have right now, is that we don't have any turf, and we need that. We're natural fields, and our fields are immaculate.
Yep.
I mean, they're in really, really good shape. Our chemical programs are great, and I love grass, but I know that we need turf.
Yes, you do. But,
Yeah,
and
I
you should.
love grass. I really should love grass.
We were talking to somebody a few weeks ago, and that's coming. He's going to be doing a show with us, but he was talking about fields and around this area. If you have some turf, artificial turf fields, it's going to bring in a lot more.
That's right.
Opportunities for a lot.
I'm speaking with Philip again about us looking at maybe doing our infields at Vivian. If you can get that infield in artificial, which is one of the things that Westbrook's done really well.
It's gorgeous,
in
isn't it?
converting, yeah, and it just puts us in a different classification as far as making sure that our scheduling stays where it needs to be, and that is our problem. If you can call it a problem, is that we have so many people wanting to utilize our services that we can't miss a day.
Yeah.
We don't really need to be playing with the weather, even though it kind of plays with us, but we need to be in a position that we can, weather shuts off, we recover, and we're back to playing ball. And that's what we're trying to do.
You got some. We're staying on the family thing. You got some good kids in Rainbow City. There's
We do.
some really good children, good teenagers. We were talking to establishment where we went to eat Sunday, and one of the kids that we know, teenager, he's a young. I guess he's 18,
Maybe,
19. He comes in and starts to talk to us. He's part of our church and had some issues, and he said, "I want to work.
Yeah.
I want to work. I want a job." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I filled out an application for this place online, and I wanted to come in and let them know that I filled out an application online and I'd like to work." So we waited on him, and we bought his lunch and just hung out, talked to him a little bit, and Jerry and I did, and he finally, the manager got there and he told him, and I said, "Well, let us know how it goes." An hour later, he texts back and goes, "They called me. I got the job. I start tomorrow morning." So, I mean, you got kids that are out here that want to work. You've got businesses that want to employ teenagers. And I just think that speaks a lot for the kids. Because you go into these places, there are teenagers working everywhere out there. Mom and dad are encouraging them to work. And a lot of people right now are saying, "Why you always talk about sports stuff when Mayor Joe's on?" Well, the reason is where families are, the city's alive.
That's right. That's right.
There's a lot.
The strength of growth it always comes out of the rooftop, out of the household,
Yeah.
and so if we ever lose sight of that, the city will regress. It'll degrade, and I don't get in. I try not to go inside their home. That's really none of my business. But providing all of the things from the front door steps to the schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Those are the things that we've got to do well. And if we miss, it starts creating degradation. We know that the city will begin to falter, and that's not the intent of my administration or the council. We know that we have an incredible task in making things safe. So that, one of the things that, and it's funny, you talk about the kid getting a job, and being successful. He got to win. We're trying to give some people a win.
Yeah.
And once they feel that, they'll want that continuously. And I guess that's why sports analogy seems to always come out of the pulpit. It comes off the podium.
Yep.
It's a microcosm of what we all want. We want to win. And I think that's what we're trying to produce here in the city.
Yep.
Speaking of wins,
That's always a setup.
no, for real. This is South. Sorry, didn't mean to go there. Rainbow City is always, people want to bring their business to Rainbow City, right? And I know you got a couple you can talk about, or at least one you can talk about that's coming.
Yeah.
That's a win for the city.
That's right. I think it kind of popped out last night that Duncan.
Well, they put a sign out.
They did. They put a sign out.
Yeah.
So, once, I try to never do someone else's talking for them. I think it's unfair for me to, kind of broach the subject or whatever. But one of the things that has been going on for the last, my 2.5 years is that, businesses are clamoring to be here.
Yeah.
They finally stopped using some of their business models that says you've got to have a certain population and a certain traffic count and all these things. They've seen that we're not only a solid, stable, economically advantaged city, but we're also a pass-through city.
Yeah.
We're an intersection, and in more ways than just the 411-77 thing. We're a place where people want to come. Now, again, they want to come here because it's safe.
100%.
And I think that's the reason that parents feel okay with their kids going for a job, going for a job interview, is they know that they're going to get there and there's not going to be as much, on their kids when they start their first job. And it's not going to scare them away. And, so we want that safe environment, and I think that's what we're developing. And it's one of the big 5 things that industry and retail look for is the safety of your city, of course, your infrastructure, the leadership, the education, and the workforce.
Yeah.
They're looking at 5th graders and counting on the 5th graders. That's going to be their stable workforce. And so, if you go to our 5th grade at John Jones School and at Westbrook Christian School, I'm sorry, you found all that you need.
Yeah.
Those are great schools. And
There's some characters too, man.
you better know
Woo.
it.
Woo.
Some of the teachers and coaches are characters too.
That's right.
We
They're
got
out
2
there.
of you. Watch yourself.
So funny.
Yeah. I think we've got a new assistant principal at John Jones.
Oh,
Right.
did it go through?
Mr.
Everything.
Lloyd, yeah.
Yeah.
Now Tanya retired.
She retired. That's a big miss, big loss, She was a great person, very, very easy to work with. She finally got comfortable with asking the city if we could help out. She was.
Then she made out for lost time, right?
Yeah, and then she tore out. Yeah, there was no doubt. But no, we had a great relationship. We're gonna miss her. Ms. Martinez has stepped up,
Right.
and I think she's going to be the next principal. And we're just excited about working with her. Tanya kind of slid that responsibility over to her and let her begin to deal with us and our Parks and Recreation, our recycling folks. We try to chip in and help any way that we possibly can, and it works out well for us. We've got great schools.
Yes, you
And
do.
Ms. Lee over at Rainbow Middle, she had a tough year, and I think that proves the strength of this community, that everybody kind of gathered around them and held them up during that time.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch.
Wow.
Still, she'll be missed.
Yes,
She'll
there's
certainly
no
be
doubt.
missed.
Tanya was an incredible educator, and so many years. She put that school on the map with that blue ribbon thing, the award that they got, and ended up getting it twice. I mean, it's kind of
That's
unheard
huge.
of that you can get it done twice. But she was.
We
she
put
was
up a blue ribbon thing yesterday, and it was during the show. It was good. It was good.
Well, in spite of who she's married to,
Paul?
You know, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone to church together. We went to church together for many years, man. And now she gets to be a grandmother.
Yeah. Now, Paul,
Yeah.
he still lead worship? I know it's a sidebar. Is he
Oh
still
no,
lead?
he's a senior pastor.
Senior pastor.
Yeah, he's a
How
senior
about
pastor
that?
now. Yeah, he's doing
Okay.
good stuff.
Well, good.
He's a weird dude.
He's a
Paul.
talented dude.
I
man.
love
It's
Paul,
kinda
man.
sick, man.
Oh, he
Yeah.
can play and sing, man. He's
You got
fantastic.
Commissioner Jamie Grant says we look like we should be smoking a cigar and drinking bourbon
Yeah.
at this moment. How do you know we're not?
dilly dilly, Jamie.
Well, I mean,
Dilly-dilly.
we're definitely not smoking the cigars, that's for sure. But
He's just jealous.
he is jealous.
I swear he looks like Captain
I
America.
think we're waiting to your show to do that, Commissioner. Yeah, the distinguished mayor does not partake in.
Nothing but class on today's show, Jamie.
You got that
That's
right.
right.
Nothing but class.
It's all class.
I mean, we even have our dress shorts on
That's right.
for this show.
And matching caps.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
Swag.
They call that swag
That's-
gear. That's new swag, kapow.
Yeah.
Swag. You just got to get
Love
you
it,
one.
love it.
It'll hit the merch site before long.
The new website's on there.
KapowMedia.tv. Go check it out.
Excited about that. So, what information, if any, can you give legally about what's going on at the mega site? I know it's everyone's anticipating great things, and I just want you to be able to look at the camera and tell people stuff's going on.
Yeah, there is. I mean, we're always being looked at, scrutinized, you know, because that and you are under scrutiny because anybody that's looking at an 1,100 acre mega site, they're talking about spending millions, if not billions, of
Sure,
dollars.
sure.
And so, you know, you have to go through a really, really tough litmus test, and we're passing those tests now. You know, we are, you know, continuously being asked for information. We've just got an additional $3 million through the tax incentive program that
Nice.
the governor got reenacted in this last legislative session, and there's a shout out to our local delegation that supported that in strength, and you know, I appreciate them for that because it allows for another $3 million influx of money going into that mega site that makes things look different. And with that, I think we're going to put it towards a water tank. We know that water is critical for manufacturing, and so we're just going to kind of move in that direction. I'm not trying to steal the thunder of the Etowah County Commission, but the Etowah County Commission is really doing this right. You know, they've decided early on that we were going to partner up and put together an annexation package, and we've done that, and now it's just time for us to take another
Heck
step
yeah.
in that direction.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. I mean, it's you know, you hear people everywhere but here because I think we live so close to all of these things, we kind of can't see the forest for the trees. But if you go 5, 10 counties, 2 or 3 states away, you know, people will tell you what a mega site can do for a region.
Sure.
You know, for 5, 6, 7 counties, and we know that we have a 5 county area where the workforce is going to come from, and because of that, we need to be excited about that mega site, and I think people will. You know, in the past, you know, when anytime something new comes along, there's always the naysayers, and there'll be naysayers about this, you know. But I think what they've got to maybe draw in on is just how critically important it is that we bring back some manufacturing into this area.
Absolutely.
You know, we're not. I don't know that anybody goes blue collar anymore. It's even in the crafts and trades. You know, people are now pushing their kids toward craft and trade because it's where the money is. And the same thing goes with manufacturing. Manufacturing is smart now. Alan Smith over at Gadsden State Community College has put together that advanced manufacturing. We're a partner with him.
Talk about a
I think,
top-notch guy.
As a matter of fact, here's another shout out for the county commission. I think they were the first financial partner with
Wow.
advanced manufacturing. We were the second.
Heck
And
yeah.
it was only because they met before we did. You know, and but that's having focus, you know, on what we're trying to do, and we're trying to do collectively.
Yeah.
And I keep telling people, you know, that we are a cooperative group. Our mayor's association is extremely tight. Matter of fact, just yesterday there was an ask on our text between the mayors of, does anyone have a bulldozer? You know, and immediately somebody jumped. I was calling to find out if we had one, and immediately Larry Means, you know, jumps on and says, "Hey, I've got you. You know, you'll have to transport it." And we're in that situation
That's
now
awesome.
that I don't think that's been here, or maybe if it has, I just didn't know about it. But I'm not afraid to tell people that you've got a cooperative group of people. And even in the Challenger Center, you know, everybody kind of jumped in and said they'd love to have this Challenger Center, and we all committed. And you know, and now we have to live by our commitment. And so I'm hoping to see that.
Well, I think it's so much easier when you got everyone working together, pulling the same direction, instead of and not worrying about who gets credit for what or where something goes. And thank you to all you mayors who are stepping up and doing for the greater good, not just my city may not get the credit, but it's a great idea. How can I help?
That's right.
That's special.
And that's the way it's going. You know, it's funny to me just with our drone show, you know, that's coming up. You know, I've had companies I had one just yesterday. You know, Impact Realty, you know, gave me a call and said, "Hey, you know, how can we help?"
They're awesome.
And they don't just mean sponsorship.
They're awesome.
You know, Scott Heinzman called me or sent me a text and said, you know, what do you need? And you know, that's an open-ended question. It's not just money. It's about some volunteerism, you know, and we just don't have a problem gathering that up.
Yeah.
That's a sweet situation for me.
Well,
because they make me look good.
That whole
and that's
family,
not easy to do.
That whole family, the Heinzmans, have known to just be. I mean, they're
a philanthropic group. You know, that's a huge word that I just threw out.
I was like,
by the way.
it's like what the?
That was a
$12
big one right
word.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I just, you know, I threw it out there, and I don't mind saying it about the Heinzman. They're good folk.
Amen.
And he and we meet up at a lot of restaurants, not meaning to, and it's because we both love food.
I think that's a sign of a quality individual.
I ain't on
too.
that.
That's
You
right.
know, you're just out there trying to represent, and you know,
But Scott and I, we got to know each other pretty well with the Bash in the Bend.
What a
We're
great
both-
event,
both
by the
on
way.
that board.
congratulations!
Oh,
What a
What
very
about that?
successful event. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm the lucky guy that gets to scan tickets and be out in the parking lot. It's where I want to be.
Shaking
And
hands.
And everybody's like, "Man, you need to come in and eat." And I'm like, "Man, I'm where I belong.
Yeah.
I'm out here with the people. You know,
That's
I'm running
awesome.
people off and slowing down the cars."
Did we get a total of how much money was actually raised?
No, that meeting is today.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna miss it. I'm sorry about that, Jeff. But I think they'll have the tally today.
Yeah.
But I mean,
What a great,
sold out.
what a fantastic use of those funds.
That's right.
I mean, it's incredible,
Yeah.
incredible.
And I think that's one of the things that Jeff and the board has gotten together and said, now we're gonna put the Bash on the road. You know, we're gonna, as a matter of fact, and I hope I'm not saying this out of turn, Jeff, and if I am, you can kick me off. But you know, we're gonna bring it to Rainbow City. You know, and because we can put it in a larger area. Our only constraint on the river,
Yeah.
which is all volunteered property,
Yeah.
is size. You know, we need some more room. You know, it's kind of surrounded by water. It's on a little point. Great location.
Yeah.
But you know, if we could bring that to our soccer complex or bring it to Vivian, you know, and let people kind of stretch their legs a little bit, we see it, you know, easily doing 8,000-10,000 people,
Heck yeah.
and bring in some major music here.
I can see on one side, all the adult slipping slides over there. Gotta be softer than what
Yeah,
a kid uses.
that's right.
You know, we'll break a hip.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and you know, it's a great event, and for everyone who went and supported it, and again, it's a great cause. It's more than just a great get together. It's for speak about the cause behind it for the ones who don't know where the money goes.
Well, one of the things that, you know, I went on the board about 3 years ago, and myself and Brandon Smith and Chris Yoakum brought us on. Yuck.
Oh
Yeah, Yuck. He brought us on.
He still got that red Supra.
I don't think so.
Really, you got rid of that?
I don't know
Like
about
an
it.
like-
Does he's not letting me
Like
drive?
an '86 Supra. It's
Really?
made.
Back in the day, it
I'll
was.
find that out today.
Yeah, I bet he's
I
still
want
got
to
a
know
BM
why it's being
I
held
bet
away.
he's still got a BMX bike too. Ask him about
You
it.
know he does.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
But Yuck brought Brandon and I to the Bash group, and you know, they were in a growth period, and so we decided that we would help in getting the area ready and kind of guiding traffic and setting things up a little bit different from what they'd had before. That was the year that Drake White came.
Yeah.
Homeboy had 4 or 5 #1 hits at that time, and just a shooting star. And I think we hit 2,800, 3,000 people that year.
Yeah.
And just every year it's getting bigger and bigger. And this year it was a record breaking as far as our ticket sales. But the money, one of the things, they just kind of threw it out. Hey, where do we want this money to go? Well, they immediately said, we've been giving some money to the Berry Center.
Yeah.
Well, that to me, because I saw the Berry Center at work when I was a firefighter with the city of Gadsden, we would have to send kids, that were being, abused or
Yeah.
seeing abuse, and, for those forensic examinations and for therapy and those kind of things. And so that struck mine and Brandon's heart, and it really kind of engaged us and put us to work.
Yeah.
And every year I do not look forward to it, because my back will be killing me by the time I left from standing out there and dust all over. But it's a worthy cause.
It is. Amen to that.
And Miss Falcon over at the Berry Center, she just does incredible work. And I guess this is my plug to them. Last year at my birthday, I was able to do one of those Facebook give to your charity and gave, and just said, hey, let's give it to the Berry Center. I didn't know that many people was going to give.
Yeah.
And so I did I'll match this, and boy, big mistake. But we ended up raising about, I think, $3,500,
That's great.
That's awesome.
Off of my birthday, and that thrilled me to
That's
death
awesome.
to know that we were able.
Joe
to
got a call from his banker.
Hey,
did you authorize
Yeah.
this charge?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I just didn't want to talk about that and not talk about where the money goes, because
That's
such
right.
such a great cause.
Yeah, and we give to the Greens. That they lost a child, to cancer, childhood cancer, and they Ben, I can't tell you who all's receiving money. That they normally put that out at today's meeting.
Yeah.
But I do know that for us, we're turning all of the money back.
Yeah.
We're not storing any up and saving any. We just take it in and turn it flip it right back over and put it out to people that are in need.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So when and if it moves to Rainbow City, do you call
it's
it
coming.
bashing the bow?
I think we're going to try to maybe Jeff actually kind of coined the phrase "bash on the Coosa" or something, because we do have 5 cities that touch the Coosa River,
Yeah.
and we're not talking about just bringing it to Rainbow City and leaving it. We want to go to Southside.
That's
We want to go to Hope's Bluff. Hope's Bluff's got a great park out
Sure
there.
they
do.
We pack a lot of people into that area. Glencoe, they had a little trial run during COVID, where we brought it out to Glencoe, did very well. So I think Jeff and Shane Reed and Scott Heinzman and Cassidy, and I don't remember. I'm sure I'm missing somebody.
Mark
Those-
Cassidy don't get enough credit for life.
that
Man,
guy,
I love that dude.
Yeah, he's wide open too.
Mark,
and
if Mark Cassidy, if you don't think he's busy, ask him.
that's
Oh,
right.
he'll
He'll
tell
tell you he's busy.
I
better know.
1,000 properties.
Yeah. I'm
He is
busy.
busy, though.
Yeah. But
But-
those guys got together and decided to do it. I think it was a little Father's Day, picking and grinning kind of thing, and that's grown into the bash. And I think that's a big part of why people support it.
Yeah.
It just kind of grew out of the idea of how can we kind of hold some folks up and strengthen them just a little bit. And that's my reason for being there, and that's the reason for that board.
Yeah.
So good.
Fantastic.
See, your mayor just ain't all about Rainbow City. He's about giving back
Yeah.
and loving on folks. I love that. There are some that are not that way.
That's true.
I'm thankful.
We won't talk
to know
about
you.
those today.
And if you are watching live right now, some of the sound is going in and out. It's because we've patched this thing the best we can, but you can go back after we're finished live and you'll be able to watch the broadcast, and it won't have any of the in and out on the microphone. It will be perfectly good. So just go back and watch it. Sorry, guys. But right now it seems to be doing okay. So
Mr. Mayor, anything you want to talk about before we get you to your daily
Well,
business?
I think we always try to end on some of our employees. Our employees are incredible. They're the front facing portion of our city. They're our ambassadors, is what we tend to call them as council members. And this week, I'm going down Thursday to speak to the Alabama Peace Officers Association, which is the statewide association of law enforcement folks. And that's for our captain of patrol, Scott Hoderfield, is going to be the president.
That's huge.
Of Alabama Peace Officers Association. Linda Cleveland, my revenue director, is the current president of the AMRO, Alabama Municipal Revenue Officers Association. I did it.
Wow.
That was a lot.
He practiced.
And president of that. So, and our city clerk, she is a highly touted city clerk, not only in Alabama, but nationally.
Wow.
In Beth Lee. And, we just have a lot of incredibly talented people at our city hall, but not just inside our city hall. They're taking calls daily from other cities, and they're instructing and teaching others how to go about municipal government, and that's the way we're going to change it. When I came into office, one of the things that I told my employees is go out and find that professional development. We can't do it all inside. We can't just do it through mentorship because there's not enough time in the day. But there are places that you can go to conference and be instructed about what the best practices are. And that's what we've done. We've put a little money towards training and professional development, and it's paying dividends, incredible dividends.
You still got the Mayor Joe Taylor open door policy?
We do, and that thing, I haven't narrowed its scope, but I probably need to. No, it really is an open door policy. People get to walk in and kind of air their grievances,
Okay.
and we do listen. I think I probably hacked off 3 or 4 people, since I've been there. It's not bad. That's a good number. But I've not had one person that didn't hear our voice while we're listening to theirs, and I think that's what our staff does well, is we're not just waiting to talk, we're listening. And then we try to apply a solution, even if it's, I'll brag on another one, with Mike Bolton in our nuisance abatement. Mike solves problems. I mean, we've got some problemed areas that Mike and our city clerk got together and said, how do we put, we do have to worry about liability continuously to make sure that we're not stepping over the boundaries. And they found an attorney down in Birmingham, Ben Goldman, that put together a nuisance building demolition program that passes all of the litmus test of law, and we've been able to eliminate, I know everybody knows of the 3 structures there on Highway 77 that we tore down that needed to be demolished, and that cleaned that property up, and we found a way to do it legally and be able to not intrude into people's lives at the same time. And not create animosity between government and the property owner. And I think that's just, again, thinking outside of the box and going out and finding something or developing a program that allows for us to do that.
Fantastic. Eminent domain, Joe. Eminent domain.
Yeah, we try to stay away from those 2 words.
Sorry, Walmart. Oh my God! Hey, thanks so much for being with us.
It's always a pleasure.
You're always gracious with your time, sir. We appreciate that.
I appreciate
Sincerely.
that. We're gonna get something done about this Wi-Fi.
I mean, come on,
I
son.
mean, some internet here.
See how he does?
Yeah.
He takes care of the people.
That's
He don't be talking about it. He be doing it.
Do
that's
it.
right. That's
Be
right.
doing it.
And
Stay-
no nuisance and abatements in Druid Park. I'm just saying.
No,
we got a
that's
great neighborhood.
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh
people
yeah. I mean, our
constantly
neighbors
updating their homes over here lately.
Yes, yeah,
Wow,
construction
where's money
everywhere.
coming from?
over here.
That's right.
Updating
Construction
everything over here.
everywhere over here. It's fantastic.
Sure is. I mean, our here we go. Our business, our building department, Heather Hill, she's the heartbeat of that thing, and then we've got Joel Garman and Mike Bolton, our nuisance guy. They run a really great ship there, and and we're putting out permits daily. I mean, and it's updates. It's not only remodels and those kind of things. But, we're building.
Yep.
If you up and down 77, you see all the different projects that are going up. We have a huge project that we'll announce in the next few weeks. I don't want to steal those people's thunder, but it's a crazy opportunity in our industrial park. We have an additional industrial park out on Lumley Road that we call the Farm, and we've been doing some improvements and getting ready. We know that mega site is going to land, and when it does, there's going to be peripheral businesses, and they're going to need a place to build, and we're preparing their front yard for them right now because we know that they're going to be putting a sign out.
You can talk about the about the new credit union.
Oh yes,
the new bank,
yeah.
so.
We've got Farmers Credit that's coming in down on 77. They came back to us. They were so ready to be in business that they said, can we get a variance to put this temporary building in? It's a off-site built, stick-built building. It's not a mobile home or anything like that. And so we gave them a variance, allowed them to come in so that they could go ahead and set up shop because they needed to be doing business.
And it's nice.
It is.
It's incredibly nice.
And the
they
sign
did it right.
is beautiful.
And then right behind it is where they'll build their permanent structure.
Yeah.
And they're moving forward. Their contractor came and met with me as well as their developmental director and just said, hey, look, we're behind, but we want to be in business. Well, for us, it's let's get you in business, whatever that takes. And they met every one of the thresholds that we needed as far as construction and stormwater runoff and retention, and they just said, hey, we just want to be here that bad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And which is really, really good.
Love it.
I'm excited about the future of that little area.
Yeah.
77. I'm excited, and I think everybody else is going to be as well. And things are happening, man. You can't drive through Rainbow City and say things are not happening.
That's right.
It is a growing little place, happening little place, and man, holy moly! In the afternoons, coming back to church on Wednesday evenings, man, you Rainbow City people are awesome. Some of you got to learn to drive.
I got to learn to. That's right. And as a matter of fact, I've got a meeting I think tomorrow, and it's about the kind of final engineering plan for the Church Street pressure relief. It's called a jug handle intersection, and that's going to allow for some northbound and southbound, east and west. We're going to be able to throw off of an amount of traffic there, and that's going to give us some relief. I don't know if it's going to make them drive better, but there'll be less of it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be
How many times has the DOT put the sign up there here in front of Publix?
Oh man!
And the dude's mailbox is sitting on
his heart. I mean, it's every.
I feel bad for the guy.
Finally, he put it on a thing of rocks.
Jeff and I were driving by, and he was out checking the mail. He actually picked his mailbox up, opened it, got the mail, and put it back down.
Yeah, and he's been very long suffering with that. You know, we do know that we've been approved for our our 3-lane of 411 from Highway 77 down to Lumley Road, and that's as a matter of fact, we're in the environmental impact study portion of that process, and we know that that's going to come out very soon, and then we'll let that contract for it to be built hopefully in the latter part of 24 and the first part of 25.
Wow.
Which the process just runs slow. And I wished I could speed it up, but we're going as hard as we possibly can. In light of a bigger bureaucracy.
Lastly, for me, and we can close out. Is it too soon to start talking about re-elect Joe Taylor? Is it too soon for that?
I just had that conversation this morning in the break room with some of my staff members, and I don't know. I said when I went into this job that I wanted to do it as long as I was getting something done and actually being functional. I don't want to waste people's time. I'm certainly not going to waste their money. And, right now it's looking good.
Okay.
If I can say it.
Just making sure.
If you're basing off getting something done, then
you're definitely coming back.
Yeah.
Well, and I did catch a lot of threats from my staff. Karen, Cindy, Crystal, and Heather. And Heather's the kind of girl. She's she'll hit you.
She'll cut you.
Yeah,
for
she
sure.
will cut you.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
She'll draw a switch.
No doubt.
Right. Now,
No
the
doubt.
other three, well, I don't know, Cindy will too. But the other two, they'll pray for you.
Amen. You need a good group of
Of course,
those.
Heather will cut you and pray for you.
Yes, she will. Now, she gets through, she'll pray for you.
Is Rick still the youth pastor now?
He
I think
is.
so, yeah.
That's
Down at
awesome.
Riddles
man.
Bend.
That's
Doing it,
awesome.
doing
I think they've got a growing, that church is growing, and
And then,
Just the opposite. They're not
And-
growing.
and then-
Coach. They got to get a pastor.
yeah, they.
No, when they get a pastor, because that thing used to be the theme, right? Everybody went there, right? Great church, but they
Well,
need a
that's good.
pastor.
Rick's good on Rick, and then his son,
Yeah.
our man,
yeah.
is the youth pastor right down the road here. So both of the father and son went into
That's
youth
right.
ministry within
Together almost, right?
4 or 5 months of each other.
They sure did.
It's so,
So
we love
you
Nick.
get the
He's
Horton
great. That's it.
family and the Hill family combined
yeah,
now.
come
They're a juggernaut.
My gosh.
There's no doubt about that.
I'm
My
telling you,
gosh, that's
got it
huge.
going on. So, real quick, the road, it will affect our church and our little studio here, but it's going to help us.
It is.
Man, on Sundays after church, on Church Mile, it's going to help. It's going to help during school dismissal.
That's
and,
right.
And I'm excited about that. I know
Yeah,
it's-
you
we're
don't
gonna-
even
it's
you don't
gonna
even
pop
try
out a
to
little
get
bit.
out of Druid Park before 8:00.
That's
Just
right.
don't.
Can't do
You
it.
know, and that's the problem that we have is, you know, and it was one of our the ability to tell the director that we need help and our regional engineer that we need help is that they're going to turn down any opportunity to put a light in. You know, they don't want to slow traffic. So,
Sure.
you know, we said, well, we've got to have these deceleration opportunities for people and the turn lane to be able to merge. And so that was a big part of our argument. It worked. It's coming. And so
Good.
that's
exciting to
you know,
me.
we have 3, I think we're right now at about $14-15 million that's going to be coming into our infrastructure, and that doesn't include the fact that, you know, we went to Washington as well and gathered up some earmark from our senator, from Coach Tuberville, and I've got a meeting this afternoon, a Zoom meeting about it, and you know that's an additional $6 million, $8 million that'll help
Heck yeah.
expand our water and sewer. You know, we're trying to stay above ground by doing the things that are below ground. And if you
Smart.
don't think of your water and sewer as being a critical part, allow somebody to call you and ask you some questions about your city. You're going to have water and sewer come up really quick. And
And the
right
key is
now
being
we're-
sure the sewage don't come up.
That's right.
Let's keep below ground.
That's right. But no, there's just so many good things
Yeah.
happening, and it's right now we're just excited, but at the same time we're making sure that we're doing really, really precise work and doing it all right.
Well, we appreciate the efforts of you and your staff.
Thank you.
Seriously.
I appreciate that.
I mean, some days we don't even get out of Rainbow City.
That's right.
No need to.
No need to.
Yeah, you don't have to go anywhere now.
That's it. Stay close, stay clean. Rainbow City will be a whole lot better. It's doing well, but it'll be a whole lot better for it. We'll see you next time.